Hello everybody, Jonathan Rayo here with Simplified Guitar, and in this lesson I want to teach you how to play the song I Could Sing of Your Love Forever by Delirious. As always, I'm going to play through the song for you first, and then at the end I'll break it down and explain it to you in more detail, so make sure to stick around for that. For now, let's go ahead and get started playing through the song.
Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me, and I will open up my heart and let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands, for I will always sing when your love came down. I could sing of your love forever. 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 Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me, and I will open up my heart and let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands, for I will always sing when your love came down. I could sing of your love forever. 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 Oh, I feel like dancing. It's foolishness, I know, but when the world has seen the light, they will dance with joy like we're dancing now. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever.
So for this song, we're going to be using 4 chords from the E chord family, and we're going to be starting off with the E major chord, which is going to look like this. And for the E major chord, I want to strum all 6 strings. Now from here, I'm going to be going to an F sharp minor 7, and I'm going to be playing a power chord alternative. Instead of playing an F sharp minor 7 bar chord, okay, instead of doing that, I'm going to do it as a power chord, which means I don't have to bar anything. So from this E major, I'm going to take my 3rd and 4th finger, and I'm going to put it on the A and D string on the 4th fret, like this. And then I'm going to put my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. And that is going to be my F sharp major. And that is going to be my F sharp minor 7. But I want to make sure to avoid playing that low E string. So I'm just going to let my thumb or this finger, either one, because they're both not doing anything, I'm just going to let one of those just touch that string so it's muted and it doesn't resonate. And then I can just let the rest of the strings play through. Okay, and then from there I'm going to be going to an A suspended 2nd chord, or an A2 for short. And to go there, I'm going to take my 3rd and 4th finger again, and I'm going to just move them both down a string each, so that now they're on the D and G string. And I'm going to move them down to the 2nd fret. And that is my A2 chord. And for this, I want to avoid the low E string as well. I'm just going to strum from the A string down for this chord also. Now, of course, you can play this chord with your 2nd and 3rd finger like this, or for that sake, you can even play with your 1st and 2nd finger. But the reason I'm playing it with my 3rd and 4th like this is because for the next chord, I'm going to slide up those two fingers. They're going to stay where they are. On the on the D and G string, I'm just going to be sliding them up to the 4th fret and putting my first finger down here to play that B suspended chord. So it makes for less finger movement, and that's going to make for faster transitions. So again, I'm going to go from that A2 to this B suspended 4 right here, and I don't want to play that low E string, so I'm just going to let my middle finger touch it and mute it so that it doesn't resonate, and I'm going to strum the bottom 5 strings. For a little bit of a bonus, I'm going to show you a different way to play this progression with some different chord variations that may actually be a little bit easier to play. But if I go back to my E chord, and instead of playing the shape like this, I'm going to play the same E chord, but I'm going to play it with my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger like this. So it's the exact same notes, I'm just playing it with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. And the reason for that is, as you will see, I'm going to play all of the chords with these 3 fingers in a very similar shape. So from here, from the E, I'm going to slide up to that F sharp minor 7 that I already showed you. So you can see that my 3rd and 4th finger are actually going to stay on the A and D string. I'm just going to slide them up 2 frets and then put my first finger down. So that's my F sharp minor. All right, and then from here, instead of going to the A2 back down here, I'm going to keep sliding up the fretboard, and I'm going to use my 3rd and 4th finger, keep them on the A and D string, and I'm just going to slide them up 3 frets up here. So now they're on the 7th fret of the same 2 strings. And then I'm going to let my 2nd finger press down on the, the G string, 6th fret. So this is the exact same position that I was in for that E shape down here. It's just, 7 frets higher. And this is going to be an A alternative, but I don't want to play that low E string, so I'm just going to let my thumb touch it and mute it, and I'm going to play from the A string down for this chord. And then from here, I'm going to take this exact same shape, and I'm just going to slide it up 2 frets right here. And this is going to be a B alternative. And so you can see that the hand position isn't moving at all. Or at least my finger positions aren't moving. Just my hand is going to be moving up the fretboard. So this is my B variation. And again, I'm going to play from the A string down and not play that low E string. So let me go ahead and put that all together for you so you can see what it would sound like. For strumming, we're going to be using the universal pattern, which is a 8-beat strum pattern. So we're going to have 8 beats within the pattern, or 8 strums within the pattern before the pattern repeats. Now, this pattern can be a little bit tricky because we are going to be eliminating some down strums. So, if we were to count the beats out loud, there's going to be some beats that we're not actually going to be strumming. Our hand will be moving down, and I always recommend that you always move your hand down on the beats and up between the beats, even if you're not hitting the strings. It just helps you to stay in rhythm if you do that. Just your hand is always moving in rhythm, whether your pick is hitting the strings or not. So there are some cases in here where our hand is going to be moving down on a beat, but we're not going to be hitting the strings. And we're going to pass up that beat, and then on the way back up in between the beats, we're going to be hitting the strings in between the beats. So to try to help give you a little bit more clarity about what's happening, I'm going to play the strum pattern really slow, and I'm going to count out the beats 1 through 8. I'm going to count them out loud and watch my hand. You can notice that when I'm saying a beat, like when I say beat 2, I'm not actually hitting the strings on beat 2 or beat 3, but I am going to be hitting the strings on beat 1, 4, and 7. Okay, so I'm going to be hitting the strings on a down strum on 1, 4, and 7. But all the other beats, I'm not hitting the strings on a down strum. I'm going to be strumming up in between those beats. So just pay attention to that. Listen to me count the beats out loud, and pay attention to when my hand is hitting the strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as I said, you can see that my hand is not hitting the strings on every beat, but you do notice that my hand is always moving. It's always moving at the same rhythm, and it's always moving to the tempo, whether they're hitting the strings or not. All right, I hope you found this lesson useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Take care.